Coming up on Look Today. Well, today marked the 25th anniversary of the preservation of the Bog, Meadow, Brook Nature Trail in Saratoga Springs. I've got details. And we've got more on Next Wave Community Initiative in Saratoga County. Plus, Rachel Seeber resigns from 2 Republican committees. I've got those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Bonnie Nelson. She's Family Development Manager for Captain Community Human Services, and she's here to talk about the services this important organization provides in our community. I also sit down with Susan Siplon. She's Executive Director of the Park Theater in Glens Falls, and we're joined by Bridget Dunnigan. She's a managing director of the theater, and they're here to talk about the restoration of the Park Theater and a grand opening that's happening this weekend. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, today marked the 25th anniversary of the land preservation of the Bog, Meadow, Brook Nature Trail. Now, the entire Meadowbrook Preserve is owned and preserved by Saratoga Plan, while the Bog, Meadowbrook Trail is owned by the city of Saratoga Springs. Well, the city, in collaboration with Plan, held a press conference today at the trail to celebrate the occasion. And we were there, and we spoke to Executive Director of Plan, Maria Trepka.
So this Bog Meadow Trail is the first recreational trail in the city of Saratoga Springs. And so it's fitting that 25 years later it needs a little uplift, and we're kicking off an improvement project to prepare 3 sections of the trail so that people can be safer, have a more enjoyable and a drier experience. The beavers have moved in here, and so we need to elevate some of the areas so that it's a little bit drier for people to walk on.
In other news, well, we've got continuing coverage of the Next Wave Communities Initiative. Now, as we told you recently, the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership is working to foster economic growth within the county by working closely with the individual towns. Well, Meadow is the first town the partnership will be working with. The town of Meadow needs a new sewer infrastructure upgrade, now for which the partnership developed an economic development plan. And we spoke to Marty Vanigs, Executive Director of Prosperity Partnership, about this.
This is more specific to, say, the town of Meadow. They want to put in a sewer line. That's great. That'll help economic development. But what do we want to try to attract once we get that sewer line in? So that's really important to understand what the town is capable of, and then that helps us as an economic development agency, the county's designated agency, to figure out who we're going to attract and who we're going to bring to the community. Great program.
All right, switching from news to weather. You can expect more rain in the coming days, although it did look like the sun came out briefly this morning. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponster with your first look weather update on Look TV. We have a warm front lifting northward across the Ohio Valley. High pressures trying to take shape across the eastern part of the country, especially the northeast, as that low pressure and a couple of troughs depart New England. Temperatures are going to fall into the mid-30s across the Capital District, so make sure you bundle up and maybe have that extra cup of hot cocoa or coffee as you make your way to work heading into your Wednesday. 32 in the Glens Falls, 27 in Pottersville, and we'll experience on a more regional perspective 20s and 30s across the area. We'll experience a few rain and snow chances, may see about half-inch accumulation with a southwest wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Few snow chances will go to all rain on your Wednesday, highs near 50, so make sure you have the umbrellas handy. Out the door forecast, we'll experience wind chills in the upper 20s with a few rain and snow chances, as we'll see air temps in the upper 30s. Then our extended forecast, we're in for a messy weather pattern through the remainder of the work week with highs generally in the lower to mid 40s, 80% chance of snow on Thursday with some rain mixing in, of course. A little bit of snow showers early, then going all rain on Friday, and we'll see full sunshine just in time for the weekend with highs in the upper 40s to the lower 50s and overnight lows still below freezing with winds out of the northwest. That was your first look weather update here on Look TV. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. Now it's sent back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. Well, back to the news. Well, Rachel Seeber, a very important political figure in Warren County, has resigned from the Queensbury Town and County Republican committees. Now, she has served on the committees for 16 years. She stated that family responsibilities are forcing her to step down. Now, she will continue to serve as vice president for the Adirondack Republican Women's Club. Now, we spoke to her on the phone today, and we set up an interview with Rachel next week. Up next, I sit down with Bonnie Nelson. She's Family Development Manager for Captain Community Human Services, and she's here to talk about the services this important organization provides to the community. And I also sit down with Susan Siplon. She's Executive Director of the Park Theater in Glens Falls. We're joined by Bridget Dunnigan. She's the Director of Marketing. And they're here to talk about the restoration of the Park Theater and the grand opening that's happening this weekend. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. A couple of lookouts. Hey, just in case you've been living on Mars for a year, today is tax day. The 15th fell over the weekend, so we got a reprieve. So we have actually till midnight tonight, so please get your taxes in. Speaking of taxes, protest tonight in front of Congresswoman Elise Stefanik's office in Glens Falls regarding the tax plan. And tonight on Look TV, brand new Queensbury Town Board meeting. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.